to read about the latest news from Greece, United States, and our community on newgreektv.com. Offered in English and Greek language, read about politics, the economy, and upcoming events.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV News, English edition.
Enjoy our feature articles on travel, fashion, and health.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Well, we want to hear everything about your background. Tell us a little bit about where.
Watch New Greek TV productions anywhere, anytime on our web TV.
Από την εκπομπή,
Εμείς πάνω σε αυτό
στα προβλήματα που αντιμετωπίζουμε.
το 35%
Και αυτό που έχει κάνει αυτή η ταινία.
newgreektv.com. Our heritage, our community, our channel.
On the island of Antiparos, at the heart of the Aegean, Gaia produced an exquisite organic olive oil in limited edition, which traveled all the way to the US. The sales of Antiparos olive oil will finance 10 new and innovative Greek companies to grow. Buy today your bottle in reinspiregreece.com and support the Greek youth to move forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV's News English edition. Greece is a popular holiday destination for American tourists, according to travel agents and other visitors of the Greek National Tourism Organization Kiosk at the New York Times Travel Show in New York City that took place from February 28th to March the 2nd. The show was held at the Javits Center, where it's held annually. It was a great success and a very important exhibit for Greece. The head of EOT's offices in the United States, Grigoria Kamaterou, told the Athens news agency. There was a long line of visitors at the Greek kiosk who wanted information on tourism in Greece. Most knew quite a few things about Greek history and the islands and were looking for the one thing that differentiated Greece from other places they had been to. They knew they could find this difference, this uniqueness in Greece, she said. She added, Greece as a product is outstanding by itself, and the only thing we do is showcase it. The Greek kiosk was visited by government officials and travel agents from other show participants, including the Greek Consul General in New York, Giorgos Iliopoulos, Consul Manolis Kabourakis, and Press and Communication Officer Nikos Papakonstantinou. German President Joachim Gauck embarked Wednesday on a 3-day visit to Greece. The main show on the road trip is set to be a speech on European politics at the Acropolis Museum, attended by previously screened media personnel. Hard questions are expected, but no driving nails. The German president will also take part in talks to encourage Greeks to continue with a difficult reform process on the way to overcoming the Greek debt crisis. The German president will be in for some flack in Athens because of the policies forced on Greece by Germany and the European Union. Many Greeks are embittered by the conditions that were part and parcel, pun intended, with EU aid packages to their country, blaming those regulations for Greece's recessions and high unemployment. However, there is this reparations thing in civil law. Oddly enough, the compensation of war crime victims rests on the case of the accusers. Unfortunately, Mr. Gauck will come in for heavy criticism that may manifest in official proceedings in Parliament. As the Deutsche Welle German news agency notes, 8 years ago, opinion polls showed Greeks held Germany in the highest regard among EU partners. Germany has always been Greece's largest trade partner until it was replaced by Italy in the course of the economic crisis. The German agency admits, although Germany still holds a major part of Greek debt, Greeks now tend to view Berlin as a merciless austerity driver and stumbling block to their own prosperity. Okay to disdain by the public and lip service by the media, as it will cause traffic jams in the center of Athens. On Wednesday, the meeting of the Prime Minister with Government Vice President Venizelos and Finance Minister Stournaras lasted 2 hours and was about the burning obstacle of bank recapitalization in the Troika negotiations. After 4 hours of deliberations, the problem is nowhere near a solution. Exiting the Prime Minister's office, Mr. Venizelos confirmed that bank recapitalization is the #1 impediment in the negotiation with the Troika auditors. A high-ranking member of the ministry said the Greek side will be posing the issue to next Monday's Eurogroup conference. The government position is that the recapitalization debacle be separated by the Greek economy evaluation report until the European bank stress tests are completed by the end of the year. In the meantime, recapitalization procedures will go ahead based on the Bank of Greece assessment, which is lower than the one the IMF in particular suggests. If need for more capital arises after the European stress tests are completed, there will be an additional procedure. In order to persuade the auditors, the government is willing to commit to not using any of the 14 billion euros in the EFSF fund until a full resolution is reached by the two sides. Finance Ministry officials point out that it is actually the IMF representative who is blocking procedures by refusing to unbind the evaluation process from the recapitalization issue. The second major obstacle in negotiations is the issue of changes in labor market regulation. The auditors will meet with the labor minister on Thursday in an attempt to resolve the issue of the minister's consent to collective layoffs. The Greek side wants the minister to have a say. The Troika reps want absolutely unregulated layoffs. Tax offices have a right to seize bank deposits of revenue debtors within a few days after sending a simple electronic notice. The electronic seizure forwarding mechanism is underway and will be ready within the next 2 weeks. The new law on rapid bank deposit seizure is here to shorten procedures, avoiding debtors' resistance, which used to take years in courts with just a simple lawsuit. It is fair, but not exactly square, since it gives tax offices the right to proceed with bank deposit seizure even for poor, unemployed, or even homeless debtors who literally can't afford to cover their debts. The Finance Ministry plans on increasing state revenue instantly. Tax agents in 65 offices with existing integrated judicial services will be sending electronic requests to bank asking for information about debtors' bank balances. Banks will be obliged to respond within a few days, at which point the Tax Bureau will be issuing and sending the seizure request to the banks electronically. After that, the bank will be expected to transfer the seized amounts to the state's bank accounts. The process not only eliminates the debtor from the equation, but is actually counting on the fact that there will be no notification to him in order to eliminate the possibility that they will withdraw the money from their account. According to ministry sources, the whole process from the initial tax office request to the transfer into state accounts should not take more than 16 days. Opposition parties and depositors' unions consider the process cruel and unusual punishment for recession-stricken debtors. But the ministry expects that most cases will concern bad debtors who can afford but do not pay. 17 November jailed terrorist Dimitris Koufoudinas has released a book giving details of his activity within the group, taking stock of his 40 years in the movement. Terrorist Dimitris Koufoudinas, jailed for his part in the 17 November group, was released the book giving the details of the activities, and it is entitled I Was Born 17 November. Dimitris Koufoudinas details many of his encounters with police, as well as his thoughts on the urban terrorist movement and Greek politics. In the book, he also speaks of a possible government by the left in Greece, noting that the people must overcome the variously ensconced and secured political and unionist leaderships, must overcome all hopes in parliamentary procedures that recycle worn and corrupt politicians. They must overcome any faith in pronouncements of peaceful and orderly changes and must not wait for any solution from official institutions. The book is available from Livanis Publishers. The Industrial Gas Museum celebrated its one-year anniversary in an event held at the Athens Technopolis. The museum opened in Athens on January 2013, nearly 30 years after the gas industry shut down. The gas industry was founded in 1857 to provide light in public spaces in Athens. It was the first energy plant in Greece. By the end of the 19th century, the network gas had been expanded to provide gas to industries and households. The plant's administration came under the jurisdiction of the city of Athens in 1938, with the Athens Municipality Gas Company official founded in 1952. The plant provided the Athenians with energy for 130 years before going out of operation permanently in 1984. A few years after the premises shut down, they were designated a historical monument by the Culture Ministry with a prospect of becoming a museum and recreational area. The glass plant provides characteristic examples of technological and industrial architecture of the 19th century, given that most of the buildings and the facilities, including much of the machinery, remain intact. The repair and restoration of the buildings and the design of the open areas were completed in 2004. By 1999, the Athens municipality had opened the premises under the name Technopolis, Art City, for the hosting of cultural and other events. The institution, the first industrial museum in Athens, is open to the public daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The crisis in the Ukraine will likely have an impact on natural gas, but it will not affect the agreement that will be signed with GAzprom in a few days. Deputy Environment, Energy and Climate Change Minister Asimakis Papageorgiou stated on radio station Vima FM. The minister noted, however, that if the crisis creates turmoil in international markets, as the price of oil is one of the most algorithms that sets the world prices and results in oil price increases, we will also be affected. It is still a small increase, but I hope the forecasts of international rating agencies for a fall in 2014 will come true, he said. The crisis has not yet affected the flow of natural gas to Europe, but the gas distribution node to Ukraine from Russia is in the western and central part, which is controlled by the Ukrainian government, and there has been no problem there for the time being, he added. He underscored that Greece, like other countries, has taken measures. In our case, the solution is liquefied natural gas, which is supplied from Algeria and the free market. A boatload is coming from Algeria this week, and we're also looking for alternative resources in the international market, he said. Asked whether electricity tariffs would increase, he said there has been no increase in electricity tariffs since January 2013, and this is the plan for 2014, provided there are no dramatic developments as a result of the crisis, such as an increase in the price of oil. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for this English edition news. Tune in next week. This was Themis Iliopoulos for New Greek TV.
On the island of Antiparos, at the heart of the Aegean, Gaia produced an exquisite organic olive oil in limited edition, which traveled all the way to the US. The sales of Antiparos olive oil will finance 10 new and innovative Greek companies to grow. Buy today your bottle in reinspiregreece.com and support the Greek youth to move forward.
Daily to read about the latest news from Greece, United States, and our community on newgreektv.com. Offered in English and Greek language, read about politics, the economy, and upcoming events.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV News, English edition.
Enjoy our feature articles on travel, fashion, and health.
Thank you for having me. Good news.
Well, we want to hear everything about your background. Tell us a little bit about you.
Watch New Greek TV productions anywhere, anytime on our web TV.
Από την εκπομπή
Καλύτερο
Εμείς
πιστεύω.
πάνω σε αυτό
Είναι ο
το
στόχος.
στα προβλήματα που
Είναι η
αντιμετωπίζουμε.
Ελλάδα.
35%
Και αυτό που έχει κάνει αυτή η ταινία
newgreektv.com. Our heritage, our community, our channel.